Welcome to the GEM video training series. My name is Jana Latovsky. I am the Data Team Supervisor. And this training session will explain the process of submitting a proposal to administer the Adult Population Survey. Each year, before a national team can begin collecting APS data, they must complete and submit a proposal to the GEM data team. To do so, first you will need to download the Request for Proposal or RFP package from the GEM Consortium website. You can find this by going to Members Documents/Data, then APS Documents, and selecting the year. This package of documents is released every year, usually in early February, and an email is sent to all teams when it is available. It includes all the files needed to submit both the APS and NES proposals, as well as to administer the surveys and record and submit the data. Please note that while the Request for Proposal package refers to a group of documents, there is also a single document within this package which is called the Request for Proposal. In the RFP package, you will find 4 folders. The folder labeled Data Delivery Documents contains the SPSS data input templates, which are used to submit APS and NES results. The Proposal Documents folder contains all the instructions and files you will need to prepare and submit your proposals. Next, the Questionnaire Documents folder includes both the APS and NES questionnaires, as well as a question-by-question commentary, providing more information about the APS. Both the NES and APS questionnaires are available in English as well as Spanish. But we also have copies of these surveys in other languages from previous years, so contact the data team if you are interested in a different translation. Finally, the Reference Documents folder contains training presentations, the annual timeline with important deadlines, and other useful information, so be sure to explore all the available files before you begin preparing your proposal. Once you're familiar with all the available information, your team should begin working with the survey vendor to decide on the data collection methodology and to complete all the required proposal documents. In order to be reviewed and approved to administer the APS, you will need to submit 3 things. First, a completed APS survey report, which I will explain in a moment. Second, a survey vendor proposal. This is a document created by your vendor to provide more information about their organization and sampling plan. There is no template for this document, so the vendor can submit it in any form. Finally, if your team will be translating the APS questionnaire or adding any optional questions, the revised survey must also be submitted. Completing the survey report is the most important part of your proposal. This Excel document consists of a number of worksheets, some of which are completed by the national team, others by the data team, and some are completed before data collection and others during and after. Please note that each team will receive their own customized copy of the APS survey report. You will also be responsible for filling out 6 worksheets in order for your proposal to be evaluated. The most important is the methodology overview, which will give us information about your sampling plan. You will also provide information about your customized questionnaire, your different strata if using a stratified sample, population statistics, computation of weights, and the categories you will use in your demographic education question. Next, you will need to submit the version of the APS questionnaire you plan to use for data collection. Although the core questions cannot be changed, your team can make a number of revisions to the survey. First, you can choose to include optional questions. Second, your team will have to establish the answer categories for 2 demographic questions: education status and income range. And finally, you will need to translate the questionnaire if it will be administered in a language other than English or Spanish. Please note that even though GEM requires your team to submit a customized questionnaire, correct translation and adaptation of the questionnaire is each team's responsibility. If you are translating the APS questionnaire, we recommend that you work closely with your survey vendor. While your team has better knowledge of the survey, your vendor may have a better sense of how a question will be received by the respondent and can advise on the best wording to avoid confusion. Also, please refer to the question-by-question commentary to keep the exact purpose of each question in mind. Once the survey is translated, have someone not already familiar with it translate it back into English, and carefully compare the two versions. When all the proposal documents are ready, email them to the data team at data@gemconsortium.org. You can refer to the request for proposal for specific instructions on how the files should be labeled. Once received, the data team will review the documents and evaluate the proposed sampling plan. We will then send a review of the proposal in a new worksheet added to the survey report. This review will include a summary of your sampling methodology. You will have to carefully check that we understood and summarized everything correctly. If there are no questions or problems, then a team will be approved to begin data collection. But usually the data team will have questions and requests. We will check that all the required materials have been submitted and in the required format. If your team added any questions to the APS, we will check if they interfere with the flow of the core survey. And most importantly, we will determine if the survey design meets GEM standards. Please note that until all the issues have been resolved and the proposal officially approved via email, a national team cannot begin data collection. If you have any questions about the proposal submission process, get in touch with the data team at any time. We can give you suggestions about choice of survey vendor, pre-evaluate different methodologies, and perhaps even help you conduct a pilot survey to decide on the best survey plan and/or vendor. Thank you for taking the time to watch this training video. Hopefully, this helps you better understand how to submit your proposal to be approved for APS data collection. If you have any questions, please contact me or the data team and we will be happy to help.